Professor Bryn Brown's research shows that vulnerability fosters good emotional and mental health. It is a sign of courage. We become more resilient and brave when we embrace who we truly are and what we are feeling. The Vulnerable Scientist podcast is a space for scientists to tell their honest and authentic stories. I am your host, Sarah Nyakeri, who happens to be a scientist, informal science communicator, and I help scientists create personal websites. If you want to support this show, go to www.patreon.com/thevulnerable-scientist. You can also follow this podcast on all social media platforms at TV Scientist Pod. Hi everyone, welcome to the Renewable Scientist podcast. This is your host, Sarah Nyakeri, and today I have, is it Dawid, right?
It's actually Dawid.
Yeah, Dawid, right?
Dawid, yes.
Yeah, Dawid Hanak, right?
Hi everybody. Yes.
Welcome to the show.
That's correct, yeah.
Kindly introduce yourself.
Sure. Hi everybody. I'm Dawid Hanak, and I carry lots of hats actually, but if you were to describe me, I'm helping early career researchers as a career success coach, a motivated academic, and at the same time, I'm a senior lecturer at Cranfield University.
Interesting. Just a minute. I forgot my charger.
That's right.
Sorry about that.
That's right.
So you said you coach? Can you explain more?
Yeah, so this is something that I started doing 2 years ago when the pandemic hit, and we came up with the idea to support other researchers with our expertise, basically. So it's me and my wife Magda who actually are doing this. So what we are helping our students or kind of mentees with is basically communication, trying to write papers, write proposals, and becoming a better academics. Basically, this is the kind of the outlet where I can share some of the experiences I had as the early career researcher and academic, and trying to help out others with sharing my experience. Because what's the point of going through the experience if you don't share it later on, right?
Yeah.
So we do lots of different things. Happy to share some resources later on if that helps.
Sure, that would be nice. What's the full name of your wife?
Oh, it's Magdalena Hanak.
Oh, Magdalena Hanak.
Yes.
Oh, awesome. I like that. She's also a scientist, I'm assuming.
Yeah, she's more into graphical design, marketing, this sort of things. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
We kind of
blend
with different background. Yeah, a blend of academic and business. That's what we try to kind of use to help others.
All right. Is there a place where people can get you with this?
Yeah, so basically we've got a website and a knowledge hub. So our website is motivatedacademic.com. And from there you can get to the resources that we've put in. We're putting on. We have lots of blogs on our website. We've got some courses and we've got some academic talks, inspirational talks for researchers as well. And we also kind of run a number of webinars from time to time, which are free to attend. So people can actually join up and ask any questions they want about writing papers, time management, communication, these sort of things.
Oh, okay. I like it. It's nice. I'm sure this will help people because this is one of the struggles that people have, especially the writing part of science.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I feel like you're solving an actual problem that I love that.
Yes, thank you.
Psychom. All right. So what about your teaching? Can you explain more what you do apart from that?
Right. So in addition to doing this, I'm a senior lecturer at Cranfield University, where I basically teach an engineering subject. I'm an engineer by training.
Okay.
So my background is chemical/process/environmental engineering. And I do teach a number of engineering courses in process design and economics, which is quite funny actually. And we do teach at a number of other universities as well. So over the time, I was teaching at Cranfield, of course, which is my main university. But then we developed partnerships with Muscat University and Jiangsu University as well. So this is kind of the teaching job that I do. I say our teaching is a little bit different than conventional, mostly because we just do postgraduate teaching, so master level and PhD level. So it's more applied, mostly because we work quite a lot with industry. So my take on teaching is really applied. So it's not like theory based, if you know what I mean. It's like more like a project based teaching. Yeah, it's more project based, case study based, and it's both for motivated academic and at Cranfield I do project based teaching because I believe you have to learn and then you have to implement.
Yeah.
To get the results, actually.
I love that. I wish since I was young, like I'm just thinking in my head, like since I was, a younger kid, I wish the education system was like that. Like it's more practical than it's not just theory. They give you the actual,
yes.
Give you a project, work on it. Because it wasn't like that for me. I love that. It
wasn't like this for me as well, and I did struggle a lot with the conversion from, say, I know how to explain that theoretically, but how do I actually do it, right?
Yeah,
that was always the question. How do I do it?
So so where are you located right now?
I'm currently in the UK. So Cranfield is in a kind of weird place because not many people heard about Cranfield, but we are literally in between Oxford and Cambridge.
Okay.
Literally in between. So we are on the Oxford-Cambridge arc.
So Cambridge and Oxford is so loud that you guys are not heard of.
Exactly. Yeah, they're so known that not many people hear about us. But we do pretty cool things.
Oh, okay. That's great. And you mentioned something about China?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I do teach the same subjects, so engineering and economic courses in China, in Jiangsu. So that is a partnership that we've developed with Jiangsu University. We basically helped to set up a new university in China. Wow. We kind of transferring some of our master courses over there and PhD courses over there as well.
So is this in person?
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it sounds exciting.
So right now it's virtual. But I guess the plan is to go over there probably next year.
Okay. All right. So how did you get here? Tell us the journey that got you here. Like from, I don't know where you will want to start, but tell us how this whole thing started.
Right. So I guess the whole thing started when I was kind of wondering what was going on with my career during my first masters. Originally I'm from Poland.
Dawid, let's
yes.
go back to, like, I don't know, I asked the question strangely. Let's go back to your childhood or earlier before getting to university. How did that getting to science
even before that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Where did you grow up?
So that is really interesting, actually. So I'm originally from Poland. So I was, strangely enough, I wasn't very good at school when I was kind of in my primary school, middle school. I wasn't interested, I did pass everything. I wasn't interested in maths, in science, and everything.
Why
I was
in Poland
more into
exactly?
sports. That's quite funny. So Poland is we're in Poland. So that's south of Poland, near Krakow and Katowice. So that's where I'm basically from.
Okay. So you liked sports more than education?
Yeah, it kind of got me into. I was a pretty good volleyball player And during in the primary school, we actually went to in the country in terms of the volleyball. So we went to a kind of national
level,
national championship, level. Then that kind of continued through my secondary school as well, then high school as well. But then I guess it was during one of the trainings in high school when I kind of had I don't want to say revelation, but then I just realized I cannot keep doing this for the rest of my life. So
it's not a viable career.
Yeah. I mean, if you get an injury or something, right, then you're done basically. And with volleyball, you've got so many variable things and so many opportunities to get you injured yourself. So I think at that point it was a kind of revelation where I had to choose something. And I did enjoy chemistry at that point.
Let's go back
high
first. How I would like to know what, because I'm from Kenya, right? And I don't know the education system in Poland, and I'm interested to know that. Could you take me through?
Right.
Once after your parents decide you go to school, what happens there? Like, take me through the education system of Poland.
So it's been changed since I did my education. But when I was doing that, we used to have 6 years of primary school. So you go through 1 to 3 is usually the initial formation time, where you focus on the basics, writing, maths, a little bit of physics, I think, maybe physics later on, but this art subjects. So they do all of this kind of high spectrum. And then in the 4th to 6th year, you do more advanced stuff. I don't want to say advanced for children this age. So it's more about physics, biology, all of those history subjects.
Biology.
Yeah, so biology as well. Yeah, okay. So up until this education in Poland is a little bit different than, for example, in the UK, because you don't specialize until you are in high school.
Okay.
So 1 to 6 is general knowledge, wide spectrum. Then so it's 6 years. Then you go into kind of secondary school or gymnasium. So that is 3 years, which is again not that much of not specialized. So you do generic subjects at high level. Again, all of those maths, history, society, science, physics, chemistry, all of this. But I did kind of got into a class or kind of a program that was again sports heavy. So we, in addition to doing all these subjects as other kids, we did like 2 hours of PE a day. So it was 2 hours training a day, and that was volleyball and basketball again. So that's 3 years, and after that secondary school. So when you're, I guess, about 16, you go into the high school. High school at that time was 3 years again. And at that point, you can specialize. So you can either go to more technical high school, or you can go to more general high school, kind of, so that you develop more overall knowledge. It's more arts. So I went to the general one, but with the focus on maths, geography, and chemistry for some reason. And that's where when I actually started thinking about
chemistry,
like for chemistry and climate change and kind of all of those subjects. Yeah,
there was climate change as a subject.
It was within chemistry, oddly enough.
Oh, that's
weird. So as a part of it is as the carbon cycle, all of this. During chemistry class.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So now this is when you decide that you need to be good at something in school, so that you can have a career that doesn't depend on you getting injuries.
Exactly. That was exactly then when I decided. For engineering.
Tell us more.
Right.
What happened after that?
Yeah. So that was quite strange, actually, because it was, I think, first or second year of my high school, and I actually decided to focus on chemistry more because I kind of liked it for some reason. It felt oddly appealing, and the climate change issue, it kind of gave me a purpose to follow through with my education. So then I kind of looked at what else I can do. What are the areas that will be pretty hot in nature, and that's how I came up with the idea to actually do bachelor's first in environmental engineering, but also in energy engineering. So a kind of combination of both environmental and energy engineering.
How did you know about these courses?
I was looking at the universities that are close to home, and there was one particular course, because there's another story there. So all the education in Poland is in Polish, right?
Yeah.
But I kind of realized that if I am to make an impact, I need to learn English pretty good. Of course, we did have English during from the primary school. We did learn English, but you learn it, but then you don't use it, so you're not pretty confident.
Yeah, because you don't practice,
right? You don't practice it, right? You don't have to use it on a daily basis. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So there was one particular program at that university, which was integrated program, environmental and energy engineering, but it was delivered in English, actually. So that was one of the reasons why I went into energy and chose that specific program, so that I forced myself to actually learn in English.
Why did you why did you want to learn? Like, how did you know that you needed to learn English to make an impact? Because you're 19 at this point.
I was 18, 19 at that point.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how did you know that?
It was just a feeling, to be honest, that I have to learn another language, because I mean, if I'm talking to people in my country, in Poland, but then if I am to go outside, speak to other people, I still need to learn English, and I'm not a fan of going to a language courses, because you can see when I was in my primary school and secondary school, I didn't have a purpose or a reason to learn something, so I preferred sports. And then in the high school, I kind of got interested in climate change, and that's why I kind of focus on learning more. So I guess the same with English. I don't see a reason to going into a class and just learn English for the sake of learning English. I needed to have a purpose.
Okay.
So I guess that was the reason why I chose this program as well.
So how was it like doing the course for your bachelor's?
It was interesting experience at the very beginning, because at that time my English wasn't very good. So I spent a lot of time trying to understand and learn actually the technical vocabulary, because N has its own vocabulary. So I actually got kind of the dictionary, which is technical dictionary, so that I can understand what the textbook was saying. But gradually, as I passed through semester after semester, it became easier and easier. The first couple of semesters were quite difficult, because it was fairly technical. Well, I mean, it was technical engineering course. So it was all, advanced maths, advanced physics, advanced thermodynamics. So it's all new, but yeah, passed through with flying colors. So
wow.
Yeah.
I think it's the determination that you had to, get this figured out that made you excel, right?
Exactly. It was just a purpose. So if I were to tell anyone how to improve themselves, or how to succeed in their careers, you need to know why you're doing this in the first place.
Yeah. Is what happened? Was there a gap between high school and university?
No, there wasn't. I'm straight through the university. So from high school to university, I did no gap basically.
How? Oh, sorry.
No worries.
How did you like? How do people get into university? Like, is there like? Could you take me through that? Is there a way? Is there funding? Is it personal? How do you choose subjects? Like, what's the criteria? Things like that.
Right. So when I was so of course when I was doing that might have been a little bit different than now. But when I was doing my application for the university, of course, after high school you've got like a national exam. So you've got like A levels in the UK. It's like a exam after your high school, and you select a number of subjects that you want to specialize in. And so of course you have to do English and Polish as language. So that was the compulsory one. And then at that time I could select one more subject or as many as I wanted, basically, right? But I just decided to do advanced chemistry as a subject for my matura exam or A-level exam equivalent. So that selection then helps you to get to the university. So each university will have a list of criteria they accept. So they will look at that national exam scores, and based on that scores, they will either let you in or not. And then at that time, they also had limits per class. So there was each course had a specific number of students they could accept.
Like how many?
On the course. So it depends on the course. So it was between 20 to 100. Okay. In many cases, so some larger courses accepted 100 or 500 or 150 students. The thing is, education in Poland is free, right? So you don't pay a fee for university, at least for the first degree, right? So if you do your first degree, the first and second degree, it's free. But if you want to do additional specialization, I believe you'll need to pay for that.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Wow. I love that.
So it's like government is funding the first 5 years of our higher education. That's how they do it right now.
Okay.
So I think government pays universities to actually deliver higher education. So that's why they have limits. And then you apply. So you basically send your CV, send your cover letter, statement of purpose, the marks from your matura exam or your national exam. And then they, of course, do a selection process. There is no interview at that point. And what they do is when I was applying, they basically put a list on the door of the building. So I remember coming with my parents to the university, actually checking whether I got in. And yeah, I was the first on the list.
Wow.
So that was quite interesting.
Okay.
Not sure how, It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool, yes.
So what happened after because you said you excelled in your university, right? So what happened after that, immediately after that? Did you consider going into after university? Did you consider going to the workspace?
So actually, during my bachelor's, I did 6 months or 9 months, kind of an internship as a sales consultant. So my background, so my studies were in solar energy as well, and those kind of renewable energy. So I did got in touch with a company that actually sold solar panels in Poland. So I worked for them for like 9 months or something. And I was like, I don't like doing this thing, right?
Why?
At some point it felt repetitive. It felt boring, right? I had so many different ideas at that time that I could, routine kind of killed it.
So you had different ideas?
I had different ideas. And at that point of time, it was, I think, the first year of my master's when one of the professors asked me if I could go for an Erasmus exchange. So that is exchange between 2 European countries. where I would go to another country to do my master's, basically. So that's how I end up in Cranfield, actually, right? So I did my Erasmus program at Cranfield, got my double degree, and stayed ever since.
Oh my God, these guys, what are they doing? Can you hear that noise?
A little bit, yeah. Is that the goat?
I don't know what's happening. I can't see from where I'm seated.
All right.
They're making noise.
That's fine.
Okay, so what's the spelling? Crow?
Erasmus. It's like the...
No, the university.
Oh, Cranfield. So it's Cranfield. It's like
Cranfield.
Cranfield.
Oh, okay.
It's like Cranfield.
Oh, yeah, I've seen this.
I can send you a link later on if that helps.
Yeah, I've seen the name somewhere.
Strange name.
Yeah. Okay, so that's...
Yeah, we get lots of students actually from Kenya and Nigeria.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Now I see why I've
got some of my best students actually from last year. So yeah, really happy with that. Yes, yeah.
From Nigeria or Kenya?
From Kenya.
Oh, Kenya. Awesome.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Okay, so Cranfield. So what happened? Okay, which masters first did you apply to?
So so my background, as I mentioned, this was energy engineering.
Yeah.
So that was more focused on
environmental engineering.
It was environmental engineering as well, but we focus on
energy,
low carbon electricity production. How do you produce energy in low carbon space?
Oh, climate change.
Climate change and energy production. Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So the masters that I chose at Cranfield were in carbon capture and transport, which basically meant how do we take carbon dioxide from the flue gases or from the air, and how do we turn that into something useful. So that was 1 year masters as a part of my kind of double degree program.
Double degree? There's another one that you were doing.
So my double degree, so that was... I did my master's in Poland and at Cranfield at the same time. So I got 2 degrees at the same time.
Oh, so the exchange program, that's what you're talking about.
Yes. Yeah, that's the exchange program. Yes.
So in Poland, that was the Erasmus University, or that's
Erasmus.
Just the Erasmus? Okay, all right. Oh.
That's the Erasmus program.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which
it's a EU-funded program.
Oh, okay. Which masters did you do the other side? Poland? So
at Cranfield, I did carbon capture transport. In Poland, it was power engineering.
What was the project in power engineering?
You mean project?
Yeah, which project
is
did
that
you
my
work
master's?
On? Yes, for your master's.
During my master's.
Yeah.
So during my master's, I was actually designing a carbon capture plant for a coal-fired plant in Poland. Mostly because Poland has so much coal and they keep using that for electricity production. So it was kind of interesting to see how they can decarbonize. And so basically I did a design of a carbon capture plant for a specific plant layout.
Oh, so there was a plant that you used as a case study. So you went
as a case study, exactly.
And you went there and designed the equipment?
Yeah, it was more like a design of the equipment, yes. I didn't go there, but I got some data from some of my colleagues. Yeah.
Oh, all right. So it was the same project for the 2 programs?
Exactly. Same project for 2 programs.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's interesting. So you have 2 masters?
I have, I have 3 masters actually. That's I guess another story.
But for this one, it was 2 masters, right?
Yeah, there was double degree, 2 masters, one from Cranfield, one from University of Technology.
How long did it take you?
So masters in Poland is 1.5 years for engineering. Masters in the UK is 1 year. So in total, 1.5 years. I did 6 months in Poland, and then I went to Cranfield
for 1 year. Okay,
for 1 year.
So what happens when you finish the double degree?
So when I was doing my master's towards the end, my supervisor kind of seen that I've got a research potential, so they wanted me to publish my master thesis, which we did later on. And at that time, they actually offered me a PhD scholarship, which was quite interesting. At that point of time, I haven't thought about doing PhD even, or even going to academia. But I wanted to do research, but didn't know whether that would be industrial research or academic research.
Yeah.
So the offer from the PhD, it wasn't something I was looking for at that time. My plan was to take some time off and think about what to do next.
Okay.
But since that opportunity came in, I kind of used it and got onto the PhD program after that. So straight after that, PhD program.
Okay.
So it was, yeah.
Which PhD? Tell us more about the PhD, what project what it was and all that.
So it was kind of a follow-up of my master thesis, really. So my PhD was in energy and carbon capture storage. So I was looking at the title, don't remember off the top of my head, but that was efficient improvements in carbon capture plants for coal-fired plants. So basically the aim for that was to reduce energy intensity of carbon capture, improve energy efficiency of carbon capture plants by looking at new materials, new solvents, new sorbents, doing new process designs. It was quite a good time, to be honest. I did enjoy it a lot.
So it was more of
course, there were challenges. Yeah, it was more optimization and design PhD. Yes.
Oh, okay. You quite enjoyed it. Why?
I enjoyed it because I could put my ideas into practice.
Okay.
So basically, it was the PhD I did, and I think that was really because of my supervisor. He gave me so much flexibility, and this is something I needed. Not many people like flexibility because they don't know where to go. They don't know how to handle the project.
Yeah.
But I liked it because I kind of like to try things myself. And basically, I designed the project, developed the case studies that I want to evaluate, develop all the models, wrote papers, and all of this stuff. So I can say that, of course, I had support from my tutors, but it was me who actually driven this project. And this is what I expect from my PhD students now. So I think we'll get to that. I enjoyed it because, it was something I could just focus on research. It was amazing because I could just every day get in new concepts, write some papers, and just focus on that and developing my skills, of course. So
How long?
It was 3 years, 2.5 years of actually continuous improvement.
So you did your PhD in 2.5 years?
Yes. So 2.5, yeah, 2 years, 6 months between my first day and the time I submitted my thesis.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. But I must say that I did my thesis by papers. That may have speeded up, make things a little bit quicker than
what
usual.
Do you mean? By papers?
So my PhD thesis is a collection of 9 papers that I published in my PhD. So it's not conventional manuscript type of thesis where you have, introduction, literature review, methodology, and then research chapters. My thesis was introduction, and then it was a review paper, 8 research papers, and then a general discussion that collects everything. So it was like I was writing as I was going through my PhD and publishing my work, which made it easier at the end to put the thesis together. Yeah. Because I guess it's down to people realizing what they want to do after the PhD, right? Each time you start a new level, you need to think about what's next and how you can better prepare for that. So I realized if I'm going to go into the academia, I need to publish papers. I need to learn how to publish papers because still papers are seen as something that reflects your track record. And at the end of the day, you do have to communicate your science with others, which is one of the main reasons why we do papers. So during my PhD, I decided I need to master this as soon as possible. So that was the main reason why I published quite a lot. Yeah.